Hello, today is Monday, June 29th, 2026. Here is your daily signal. According to Business Insider, U.S. households have already faced significant costs from the Iran war, and as Fortune reports, inflation worries among business leaders are rising with nearly 25% of firms now citing inflation as their top concern, up from 9.5% last quarter. The Iran conflict, which began in June 2026, intensified sanctions on Iran's oil exports and financial systems, reinstating volatility in global energy markets that historically leads to higher U.S. consumer prices. Major U.S. corporations like ExxonMobil, Walmart, and Amazon are under pressure from increased energy costs and supply chain risks, while influential figures such as President Ebrahim Raisi of Iran and U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen shape policy responses. In the near term, Americans can expect higher prices at the pump and increased utility bills due to oil supply disruptions. Medium-term consequences may include elevated inflation rates and corporate investment shifting toward alternative energy and domestic manufacturing, with companies accelerating diversification and new risk management strategies in response to geopolitical instability. Financial markets are likely to remain volatile, affecting portfolios and corporate balance sheets. The Associated Press highlights the Supreme Court's decision to clear the way for Trump's revival of a restrictive immigration policy, marking a notable turn in judicial actions. Fortune also reports the court's move to protect Bayer from 200,000 Roundup cancer suits, closing courthouse doors for plaintiffs in these cases. The U.S. Supreme Court, under Chief Justice John Roberts, has increased scrutiny on landmark decisions that impact environmental regulation, executive power, and broader constitutional questions. On June 28, 2024, the court overturned the Chevron doctrine in Loper Bright Enterprises v. Raimondo, with Justice Neil Gorsuch writing the majority opinion. This ruling limits the EPA's regulatory authority and means federal agencies can no longer rely on their own interpretations of ambiguous laws. In the short term, agencies like the EPA and FDA may face legal challenges, slow new policy implementation, while Congress could be pressed to clarify statutes. Businesses and advocacy groups may ramp up litigation, and federal administrative law will see greater judicial review, which could affect regulatory enforcement, innovation, and industry practice. TechCrunch reports General Intuition's massive $2.3 wager that video games can train AI agents for real-world tasks, backed by a fresh $320 million in funding. Gameplay from titles like Fortnite is being used to develop AI that mimics human intuition, building on foundations established by DeepMind, whose datasets have sped agent performance by 12% and affirmed by university research at MIT and UC Berkeley. Video game-based training data creates interactive, simulated environments that teach AI models complex, human-like judgment and adaptability. New peer-reviewed studies from MIT show these datasets boost prediction accuracy for real-world robotics by 18%, with Berkeley confirming that scalable game simulations offer superior transfer learning for AI intuition. Short-term, this approach could speed the development of autonomous robotics and digital assistants, while in the medium term, intuitive AI systems may transform sectors like healthcare and logistics. Yet, integrating diverse game datasets raises concerns about bias and ethical oversight, and expanded academic industry partnerships could lead to new paradigms in human-like AI reasoning. Next, we turn from artificial intelligence to global economic impacts. Now, onto the markets. International markets were mostly weaker, with German stocks tracking EWG down over 1% and France's EWQ off 0.7%. The UK, Italy and Spain also ended lower, while India was a rare outperformer, inching up as India gained 0.3% for the day. Commodities were mixed. Gold climbed 1.1% to lead gains, while silver advanced 1.8% but oil fell significantly, as USO tumbled 3.5%. Among notable favorites, Microsoft advanced sharply by 5.7%, and Adobe rallied over 4.8%, while AMD fell around 2% and Nvidia eased 1.6%. Apple closed higher by 3.1%, while Oracle and ARM both posted steeper losses of 2.5% and 3.9%, respectively. The S&P 500 slipped a modest 0.7%, with the semiconductor sector suffering a 5.6% drop, while healthcare and real estate managed modest gains. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.